Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
An active rainy day throughout the state today. Wow.
Yeah, it's a wet Tuesday, Alana.
I kind of like an August Tuesday that's a little soggy. I'm not going to lie. Temperatures in the 60s.
Yeah,
Glenn.
it's nice out there.
It is. And we topped out at 73 thus far, so way below average, but actually pretty nice. As we take that live view from our Utah Tech camera in Washington County, soggy conditions down south as storms continue to track over the state line. So we're not finished. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Those 60s out there right now. 67 in Provo, 70s and 60s on the eastern side of the state. You can see where storms are. 84 in Vernal. We're warmer in Vernal than we are in St. George. What a day. We've got a lot of cloud cover, a tremendous amount of moisture. Monsoon moisture teaming up with tropical remnants to bring these soggy conditions. 70s expected for the next several hours by ABC4 News at 10. Now, the model wants to bring in the 70s, so we could warm slightly because we're drying out, but likely going to stay in the upper 60s, low 70s for the next little bit. Now, the chance of storms also lingers, not just thunderstorms. We could see those east of I-15, but showers, which we have been seeing out there. This is what it looked like this afternoon in Salt Lake County. That heavy rain coming down on the roads. Boy, it's been a different pace for this time of day. Satellite radar shows those storms tracking from south to north. You see the movement on the satellite in the last 2 hours. As we take a look now at the radar, zooming in on what's happening right now, you can see just south of St. George, storms going to roll right over, bring in additional lightning, gusty winds, and that rain. We also see that swath of moisture from Zion National Park over to Kanab, and some stronger storms over Lake Powell and in the Four Corners towards Blanding. In eastern Utah, over I-70 near Green River, that line of storms has the potential of bringing some really heavy rain. Also the basin getting in on the action with plenty of lightning, and over Highway 89 and I-15 in central Utah. So Nephi, Provo into Lehigh, and as we jump to the Wasatch Front, we've quieted down just a little bit, dried out. It still looks unsettled out there with all that cloud cover, and it feels cool, but the moisture on the backside of the Wasatch and in southwestern Wyoming. Provo and Spanish Fork Canyon look like they're getting a decent dose right now. Our flood watch in effect for the next several hours, holding on through the evening for south central and southwestern Utah. Not a surprise as we just looked at the radar with those stronger storms heading towards St. George. Wind speeds gusty in Price, Vernal, Evanston. So some strong winds coming out of thunderstorms this afternoon. Started out with showers, but we did see some gusty conditions. And Futurecast takes us through the storms for the rest of the evening and into our Wednesday. So here we go. We put it into motion. You watch the clock in the corner of your screen. Backside of the Wasatch over the Uintas, eastern Utah active by 7 p.m. towards the I-70 and I-15 interchange. We have stronger storms, so heavy rain, gusty winds, possibility of plenty of lightning there. We're going to watch as we put that into motion, and they continue to track north by 9 p.m. in Castle Country, quiet along the Wasatch Front. By 10 p.m., isolated showers and storms could pop back up into Willa County and Salt Lake County, but we watch as that moisture kind of surges over to the northeast, and the cloud cover and isolated storms begin for the overnight. Now, tomorrow we do have a chance of storms, but it's not going to be as wet as today. Scattered potential, and Futurecast keeps that over to the east. As we look at the big picture here, the water vapor map shows us that dome of heat to our east impacting the Midwest and low pressure over to our west. We also see what's Tropical Storm Harold coming in. That abundance of green there, that's moisture. Now, tropical moisture. Hello, yet again, we're going to go another round with that because of the positioning of the high pressure. Wednesday through Friday, our clockwise flow drags that moisture from the Gulf of Mexico towards the Beehive State, and that's why we're going to keep scattered thunderstorms in the forecast for the rest of the work week. Eastern Utah will be tapping into that. Regional forecast with the 80s for tomorrow, 50s and 60s for the overnight, 80s and 90s on the eastern side of the state. We get back to 90 in St. George, but we're going to hold on to storms, so be ready for that. Through Friday in St. George. That's where we have our thunderstorm threat becoming scattered on Friday, and then the moisture drying out a little bit, which allows a drier pattern and temperatures to warm back up. Here's the Wasatch Front, where you're going to look at the next 4 days, and you see through the close of the work week, scattered potential and temperatures running below average. This time of year, 90 is average. Slight chance on Saturday, mainly terrain driven, so we are going to see the chance of some storms bubbling up over the high country, but we dry things out and we see those 90s make a return because August is like, okay, I did you that favor. We didn't sweat it out like July, and here's a little bit of wet weather, but the heat does make a comeback, but that just happens when we dry out.
Yeah, and it seems like I remember triple degrees last August for quite a while as
You're
well.
not wrong. Last summer we had 34 triple-digit days.
Yeah,
Yes.
and we haven't even seen one this August, have we?
No, we've been below that, and that's thanks to the monsoon, which was delayed, but it showed up.
Yeah.
It showed up.
Sooner than later.
Oh, good one.
Yeah, that's good.
He took that from last
after
night.
yesterday.
Thank you. I said that last night at 10. Quote me on that.
Yesterday he was speechless, so now he recycles your joke today.
I get my best material from her.
Well said.